everyone, welcome to the Vet View. Today we're here with Jennifer Hope. She is a Navy Seabee stationed at 32nd Street down in San Diego, and she's also a model out here in the San Diego area. So Jennifer, thank you for coming on and speaking with us today. We really appreciate it. I am very excited about this episode because Jennifer is a model, and as you guys know, I modeled as well, so I think this is going to be a very great conversation today. So Jennifer, you're currently stationed down at 32nd Street and you're a Navy Seabee. For the civilians and even the military out there who don't exactly know what a Seabee is, can you tell us what it is that you do?
A Seabee is construction worker. That's what we do. We go around the world and we build stuff from schools to walls to houses. It's all on what the military needs us. We go out to Afghanistan and we build SWAT huts for the Marines so that they have operational bases. We build berms so that we don't get shot at. We do it all. We're just all around construction force, doing it all, building whatever needs to be built.
Construction. So now, is that something that when you joined the military you wanted to do? Is that something that you sought out, or is that something that you kind of got dropped into?
It's almost like I got dropped into it. When I went, I was talking to my recruiter, and I was like, I want to join the Navy, but I don't want to go on a ship. He looked at me like I was crazy. He's like, you know, this is the Navy, right? So we went through all the packets, and I had a lot of Seabee packets that was there, and it was funny because all of them looked so serious, but there was this guy, and I'm an electrician, so that's my rate. So he was on a pole and he was smiling. He had like the biggest smile ever, and I had no idea what a Seabee was. I didn't know what a construction electrician was. I knew they kind of worked with electrical work, but I really didn't know anything about it. But he was smiling. He really enjoyed his job. I want to do what he's doing. I want to love my job that much. So I got dropped into it, and best decision of my life. I love it. I love being a Seabee. I love the atmosphere and the guys and the girls that I work with. They're my real family right there. Like, it's pure love. Sometimes hate, but pure love.
And that's amazing. That's one of the things about the military, is the fact that it can be a love-hate relationship, but you are really close with the people that you work with. You have no choice. You're with them for most of the time. You have no choice. So I know that you're going on 9 years in the Navy right now, and you're going to be getting out next year. So you're actually the first guest on the show who is still active duty. So you joined 9 years ago, like I said. And so what made you join? You joined when you were coming right out of high school, or what made you want to make that transition?
I knew I was going to join when I was in high school. I got dropped into a program, and it was ROTC, or JROTC because it was high school. And I had this amazing teacher. It was Commander Lancaster, and he was such a role model, and he just let us know that there's so much out there that was to be explored, and things I've never heard of. Like, I didn't know what a shellback was, but I wanted to find out. You know, and he talked about his brothers and his sisters, and then he was in Vietnam, and he took us to the Vietnam Memorial. It was amazing. And just the look on his face when he was going over it, and he knew some of them, and he pointed out some. He's like, this is my brother, and this is my brother, and it was just so touching. So it's all him, and unfortunately we just lost him this year, but that was my mentor before I even knew what a mentor was. It was Commander Lancaster, and he changed my entire life, and I'm so grateful for that.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I love it. So, as a Seabee, you've traveled the world. You've been to Iceland, Afghanistan, Kuwait. What was your favorite deployment, or your favorite place to be sent off to?
For deployment, my favorite place was most definitely Kuwait. I loved it. I know it sounds weird because it's a desert, it's hot. I'm not for all that heat and that sun, but the atmosphere was great. I learned so much as a Seabee. And they did a lot for us over there. They really did. There was artists that would come and see us, and then we had free movies every night. I learned to salsa, bachata, merengue. They had hip hop.
Hey.
It was awesome. There was so much for us to do all the time, and I got to really know my brothers and sisters at Seabee. So it was great. It was my first real deployment experience, and for that, like, it was perfect. I couldn't ask for nothing better.
That's great, and I think that's great to hear, because a lot of times you talk to veterans or you talk to service members and they've had such a terrible or just a bad experience in their deployment. So it's great to hear that some people go over, they have deployments, and it's a good experience. They bond with the people that they're there with, and they learn new things. So I know that you have a daughter. You have two daughters.
I do.
You have two daughters, and you've been married for 3 years now. How has it been? Your husband is also Navy. So how has it been being married to another service member, and how has your deployments, and I know he's actually deployed right now.
He is.
So how has that affected you?
Oh, it is the hardest thing in the world to do. It really is. I give it up for the ladies that have been through this for 20 years. They are amazing. And the gentlemen too. There's husbands that do it too. It's hard. It really is. Like, to look at your baby girl and be like, you know, I'm gonna be gone for the next 7 months. I love you. I will be back, but I don't know when I'm gonna get to see you again. You know, like an actual date.
Right.
And I don't know when I'm gonna get to talk to you or how often. And Lord bless my girls, both of them. They're so brave, so strong. And my little daughter Rachel, she is just amazing. And she'll be like, "It's okay, mommy. I know you're doing this. You're good. You're my hero." And I mean, she's awesome. She's amazing. And when I do talk to her, you know, when I'm on deployment, she'll just tell me how much she loves me, how much she misses me, and that she can't wait to see me again. And it's really awesome to have that support from her. And you know, I know she's had to grow up a little faster than most little kids, but she has taken it in strides and she has made it so much better. Like, she's not a brat. She's so, I don't know, loving and giving. She's better than me. She really is. Like, she is the best part of me and her father, and it's just a blessing to have her. And her dad is an amazing father too. He tries to call as much as possible. He is deployed right now. He's on a DDG out in the middle of the ocean somewhere. And I know it can't be easy because he'll tell me, like, I haven't seen the sun in months. So, I mean, it's not easy, but, you know, it is doable if you work hard.
Right. And that really is a testament, I think, to the fact, the quote that you hear all the time, that when one person serves, the entire family serves. And you know, children go through the deployments too. It's not just the service member. So I think that's amazing that, you know, your husband is calling back and that you recognize that, you know, your daughter is growing up a little faster. But being a military, well, they call us brats. I was an Army brat, but we're really not. We grow up fast, and we're serving our country too. And I think that's amazing of your daughter. So now, your occupation besides the Navy is one of the things that I think makes this one of the best episodes we've had so far. Is that you're a model and an actress as well. Yes, so what got you started in modeling? Where were you when you started? Was it something that you always wanted to do, or it just popped up on you?
I actually made the final decision when I was on deployment in Afghanistan. And I don't know, one of my friends was like, "Jen, you gotta do it." His name is Blue Lindsay. He's also a model and an actor. Really great guy. He was like, "You gotta do it, Jen. Come on, like, you gotta do it. You'll love it. Just, you know, give it a shot." So I called my husband and I was like, "I'm gonna do this." And he thought I was joking. He really did. He thought I was joking. He was like, "All right, then, if that's what you want to do, go ahead." And when I got home, I actually started going to modeling and acting classes, you know, because I wanted to get some background on it before I just started hopping into shoots, you know, because not everybody is photogenic to a certain degree. You are, but it depends. You got to know your body, know what sides are good, know what positions. It's something I didn't know.
Right.
So I wanted to get to know these people. Like, all right. So I started going to classes, and I was like, man, all right, let me do my first photo shoot. So I did my first photo shoot, and I fell in love, and I was just like, oh my God, I got to do this again. And then it was just on from there. It's like, all right, when's my next shoot? Like, how can I get my name out there? How can I meet people? And it's just been amazing ever since. Like, I'm nonstop. And then now that I'm getting ready to get out, it's even more drive, because it's like, all right, now I have the time. Now I have an end to this. You know, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Like, I know this is going to be the end of my Navy career, but it could be the beginning of another career. And it's just amazing.
So I went to your Facebook fan page, and I went through your photos, and they were amazing. So I know you went through classes, and so you've been trained in the art of modeling, because a lot of people think, and this is what a lot of people think, that you just stand in front of a camera and you look cute and you take a photo. Not so. Not so. No. You can hold a pose for 20 minutes and it's uncomfortable. You can be doing a bathing suit shot in the middle of January and you have to make it look hot and sexy. So
it's actually funny you say that, because my first bathing suit shoot was at the beach, and it was November, and it was sprinkling, and the photographer looked at me. He's like, "Hey, Jennifer, get in the water."
Okay.
And I just looked at him and I was like, "You're serious?" And his wife actually shoots with him, because it's Jonas, and his wife May shoots with him, and she started giggling, and she's like, "Yeah." Seriously though, get in the water. And so I was like, all right. So I get in, it's freezing, and I go stand between these two pillars, And he's like, all right, now when the waves hit you, it's going to splash up in the back, and we're going to get this amazing shot. There's going to be little water droplets everywhere. It's going to look beautiful. And I'm like, all right, okay. So I'm in there, I'm shivering, but I'm holding it. It's great. And this water hits me. Bam. I come tumbling forward in the water, soaking wet. I stand up, and I'm like, I didn't know what to do with myself. So he's like, all right, shake it off. Go back out there. That was my introduction to modeling right there. And I was like, okay. And I still loved it. So after that, and I still loved it, I knew I had to do this. I knew this was what I was meant to do.
Right.
So
it is not as easy as it looks, contrary to popular belief. So you've been modeling for a while now, for a couple of years. So what photographers have you worked with, and is there a certain type of modeling that you prefer? Is it runway? Is it print? Is it bathing suit? Or what is in your comfort zone?
I love fashion. So although I do love bathing suits and stuff like that, that's awesome. I love the clothes and the makeup and the hair. So the bigger the hair, the more dramatic the makeup, the weirder the clothes, I'm in heaven. I love it. It's great. I have not actually done runway yet. I want to. Most of the time I'm a little bit too curvy for the tryouts that I've been to, which is fine. You know, it happens. Everybody has their style that they want. I will find my niche eventually. But some of the best photographers, like I said, was Jonas. He's actually my go-to photographer. He is amazing. I've also just did, actually this morning.
5:30 this morning.
5:30 this morning. I was out and I did a small shoot with Trey Arnold, and he is also a vet and a very nice guy. And I was also working with another model, a male model, Marcus Jones. So it was actually, we're all vets, so it was a really great experience to have all of us together. We have a different sense of humor sometimes than some civilians, and it's not a bad sense of humor, it's just, we get it. Like, I can go to a Marine and call him a jarhead, and it's because I love him. You know, that's my brother, that's somebody that's protected me when I was in Afghanistan. Like, on the convoys, I knew they all had my back, and they also knew I'm going to go ahead and build their house. So they're going to have somewhere to sleep.
Right.
You know, I'm going to get them power. I'm going to get them AC. So we have that trust and that love for each other. But you have somebody that's not inside the military that comes up and is like, hey, jarhead, we both going to look at you crazy. Like, who you talking to? So we can have those jokes and, you know, like squid or whatever. And it's nice to have that community and we bond. So that was a really nice shoot that we could actually like clown on each other and have fun, and it was a really nice, easygoing, fun shoot. So I really enjoyed it.
And I love that because that also shows that, you know, as people are getting out of the military and they're going into different jobs, and there are all these initiatives out there to get veterans jobs, a lot of them tend to be corporate jobs. Yeah. But that's not every veteran's MO. Some veterans want to do modeling, they want to be photographers, they want to be lyricists, they want to be poets, rappers, whatever. They want to be in creative careers. And so I think that's great that you were able to find a community of veterans that you can actually work with in that creative sector, and you guys can support each other and push each other forward. I think that's awesome. Yes. So now you're not only a model, lady of many trades, you're also an actress, and not just an aspiring actress where I want to do it one day. You've actually already been in a film. So can you tell me a little bit about your acting experience and what you're doing?
Absolutely. It was a short film. It's called Amplifier. It's going to be submitted to the 2004 Comic-Con series, or Vineyard that's up there. I've never been. I want to go, but it was awesome. It was my first acting experience, and the people were amazing. It was fun. They like worked you through it. Again, Blue Lindsay, he was actually one of the main stars of it, and he helped get it to, like, he loves bringing former vets in. He's like, oh, you're a vet? Yeah, let's do this together. And a lot of the vets are that way, and I've noticed, like, oh, okay, this is what you want to do. You know, if you're serious and you're dedicated about your trade, let me help you out. So he actually got me into it, and I actually got to play two parts. I got to play one serious where I was the bad guy and I got to try to beat him up. And then I got to play like just a little patron. I had a little red wig on. And, you know, I was in the background for that one, but it was just fun. It was amazing to actually get in front of the camera and do movement as opposed to just holding it.
Standing. You
know, so it was different, but it was a beautiful thing.
That's amazing. So now, have you found, well, you all touched on this a little bit, but have you found in the modeling industry and in the acting industry, that as you go out and you meet other veterans, they're more than willing and more than able to kind of give you a push forward, so you don't necessarily have to do all the legwork. You can kind of say, I'm a veteran, and whoever's a veteran around you is going to reach a hand out and help you up to the next level.
Absolutely. Actually, E. Michelle, you know her. Amazing lady. She's actually the one that hooked me and Trey up. So I guess they had met before, and he needed some models, and so she tagged me in a Facebook post, and then next thing you know, here's a shoot we're doing. And like I said, as long as you're dedicated and this is what you want to do and you're serious about it, other vets that are serious about it, they'll help you make your way too.
Exactly.
So it is awesome, and vets are some of the most talented people I've ever come across. They're amazing, just amazing. And it's that training, I think, really, that gives them the dedication and the drive and the perspective to, I could go out and get drunk this weekend, or I can make this 3-hour trip to LA and go to this audition. What are you gonna do?
That discipline.
So, I'm gonna do this. So it's really awesome to be around like-minded people.
Right. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So we already went over this. You have about a year left in, and that's about the time that they advise that you start, working towards your transition and what you're going to be doing when you get out. So what steps have you taken already? Because we have a lot of service members who watch the show who are about to transition, and you're one of the first ones. The other was Michael Cook, who was in the process of transitioning. But what have you been doing to prepare yourself?
I'm getting my name out there. You got to network and meet people. Take classes, whether it's college classes to do a business job, or it's acting classes or singing classes if you want to be a singer. Like, take classes, do what you need to do, get serious. It's all about the networking. Get business cards made, start passing them out. Show people this is what you want to do and that you're serious, and take that step forward. You have to. I don't sleep much. I ain't gonna lie.
Join the club.
I do not sleep much. I spend most of my days trying to network with people, and at night Googling what I need to do to keep it moving. What do I need to do? What's my next step? Is there any auditions coming up? So it's tiring. I work every weekend. I don't have weekends off. It is what it is. But once you know what you want and you have that drive and motivation, it's almost easy. Like, you could be running on fumes, but you're like, oh my God, like, this is my goal, and I can taste it. Like, I want this. And it's a powerful thing. It'll keep you going even when you ain't slept in a day and a half.
Right. So being really, really clear on what it is that you want to do. Because I feel you on that. We film on Saturdays. We film multiple interviews on Saturdays. Yeah. So we don't sleep a lot either. But when you're getting out and you find something that you're very passionate about, something that you really want to do, something that's important to you, it's almost not like work at all. Whether you sleep for 15 minutes or whether you're able to get, I slept 6 hours last night. I felt like I slept for 3 days. So now after you get out, you're already preparing yourself to transition. After you get out, what do you plan on doing? That your husband is still going to be in, correct?
He is. He did a re-enlistment for 6 years. So I'm not sure if he's going to finish out his 20 or not, but he's definitely going to do 14. So, which is an amazing thing, and Lord bless him for that, because he really is a strong and dedicated man. He loves his country, and that's awesome. I love my country, but there's other things that I feel I have to do. So I really I'm just going to get out, and I'm going to make the trip between San Diego and LA every weekend and do it that way. I thought about moving to LA. It's too expensive. Yeah. And I'm too poor. Oh, yeah. And I'm also going to go to school. I really love the safety side of construction. Construction's my heart. Seabees are my heart. Like, I love them to the core of me. They have given me so much in my life. So I don't plan on failing, but I also believe education is super important. And if I'm going to get a degree, I want to get a degree in safety, because if I ever need to come back to something else, safety is the way to go for me. I love it. I love being around construction, sweaty men, curse words. It's just amazing, like dirty jokes, and you can just be a part of it. And I want to stay in that type of atmosphere.
That's great. So having a backup plan, I think that's awesome, especially in construction, especially because that's not going anywhere.
Nope.
No one's going to stop building anything anytime soon. So what advice would you have, Jennifer, as we close out? What advice would you have for your fellow service members and veterans who are looking to transition out, and then also for the civilian community who may not know a lot about the veteran community, and right now you're the face of the veteran for them right now on the Vet View, so what would you say?
Oh, for civilians, you have to come at it with an understanding. We are different. It's not a bad different, but we are a little bit more crude and raw, and we will come at you and we'll tell you the truth. You might not like the truth, but we're going to tell you the truth. We're going to keep it real, and we're going to stay motivated and dedicated, and we might push a little harder than the next guy. So if you really want us on your team, know we're going to work hard. We're going to be there, but we expect the same from you too. So if you're going to hire us, know we're going to push you also. Another thing is just like be patient. Understand that it is a transition to go from being military where everything is structured. Your whole day is structured. You know when you're going to get up. You know when you're going to eat. You know when everything is. To go into a civilian sector where you might not have that. And for some people like me, this is my first time where I was 19 when I joined. I've only known this. And before that was school. And it told me when to eat, when to get up, when to be there, when I'm getting off. So I've only really known this type of life. So it's different. You know, like it knocks some of us back a minute where we have to be like, oh my, okay. All right, let me regain my steps, figure out what this is, and then move forward. So, you know, just be patient.
That's great. Awesome advice. And for your fellow veterans?
Fellow veterans, drive. It definitely takes a lot of drive. You have to know, don't get out without a plan. Don't get out without savings. Don't get out without connections. If you spend your last year or two making all of that happen, you've done good. If you get out with no education, no plans, no savings, no connections, you've really wasted your time. And it's really sad because I've seen it happen, but you really need to be on your grind. Like, you have to be out there. Find what you love. If you don't want to be in the military, you know, you did your time, you served your country, you've done an amazing thing. You want to find what you love, be passionate about it, be dedicated. You have to give up everything for it to an extent and go hard. You can't just baby step it, or else you're going to be left with nothing to show.
Right. That's amazing. Thank you, Jennifer, so much for coming on the show today. So guys, if you want to catch up with Jennifer Hope, you can catch her on her Facebook fan page for modeling at Jennifer Hope _model/actress. And you can also catch her on the Vet View page. We've liked her up there, so you can find her on our page as well. Thanks guys, we'll see you next time on the Vet View.